Claude Mythos is finally here. Actually, it's not just Claude Mythos, another model called Fable has arrived. Today, Anthropic released two models, Mythos 5 and Fable 5. Both of these models are the first in the Mythos-class layer. We've talked a lot about Mythos. You know, it's the one that tried to escape on its own, can't be given to everyone, and was opened exclusively to 150 very special firms for cybersecurity functions. Mythos preview. Similarly, Mythos 5 continues to be exclusive to them, but Fable 5 is the model in the Mythos layer that's also open to us, so we've officially entered the Mythos class. This is a more powerful layer than the Opus model. We haven't encountered a model this powerful before, and they say it performs many times better than Opus, according to Anthropic. They also say it's twice as fast in terms of speed. The price is actually twice as expensive as Opus. That's worth mentioning. Now, what is Fable 5? What for what? So, what is Fable 5? How do you use it? How much does it cost? And what can you do with it? I'll tell you all about it. Let's get started right away. Now, you can see it here already. You can see the announcement on Anthropic's own Fable 5 page right here. It was announced today, and it's truly far beyond expectations. As I said, we're entering the Mythos class for the first time, and if they had released Fable 5 just like Mythos, it would likely have led to a lot of misuse by many people. In my opinion, they restricted certain things in Fable 5 for this reason. That's why they say they released it with specific safety measures already in place. They're also announcing Claude Mythos 5 for a small group of cyber defenders and infrastructure providers. It's the same model, the same as Fable 5, but with fewer safety restrictions. That's what they're saying. So, as far as we can see, we have Mythos, but let's not use it for hacking purposes, okay? Let's make sure we avoid that. We really should not bring too many cybersecurity risks into the picture, so let's be careful and responsible with how we use it. To the world, so they've trimmed it in certain areas. It seems they've made it into a safer model, but Mythos 5 will also be part of the program they call Project Glasswing, which is run in collaboration with the US government. Now you can see it here already. In this video, by the way, I'll explain what it is and what you can use it for. What will I use it for? Like when building AI agents or automation systems, what can it change in company workflows? How can these provide digital employees? What will Fable 5 change for us? I'll show you that and test it out too. But first, it's made more than double the progress in all areas like agentic coding. Compared to Claude Opus 4.8, which had only just arrived anyway, even compared to that, there's a twofold increase in agentic coding. There's an increase in frontier code. It's reaching 80% again. It was at 70 in SV Bench Pro. This is Mythos preview. As for the model used until now, 77.8. So the current model, Fable 5 and Mythos, is even stronger than that. They're actually the same things, as I said. It just has restricted features in terms of safety. Fable 5 has restricted features for safety. Reasoning is the same way. It goes from 14.5%, that is, in thinking and decision-making, it goes from 14.5% to 38.46%. There's another improvement in tool use, even if it doesn't show much. Computer use is something they're already stuck on. There are issues with computer use in certain things, but we can see it's improved a lot in some areas of the model, so we'll use it in very, very effective workflows. It also says that both Fable 5 and Mythos 5 can work autonomously on their own for much longer periods. Compared to their models, which is because they're much smarter, they can make decisions themselves while trying to do a task. They actually give a few examples here of what's happening in software engineering and other models like vision and memory and how it will have an impact. There are early stage tests that can be done with these models. So it reaches certain very large companies. They gave Fable 5 to Stripe for the early stage, and it condensed months of engineering, coding into days on their own infrastructure. With Fable 5, Stripe is also using Fable 5. It's using the powerful model you have. You can think of it that way. Here are the comparisons. There are comparisons in agentic coding, so it has a very strong performance. Fable 5. Also, what did it do? They did Pokemon. They have a video here. Very good, really. Yes, like this. What it's doing now is Fable 5 playing the Pokemon game and beating everyone, winning. That's what's happening, by the way. As you can see, it became the champion. In the 18-second accelerated version, Fable 5 plays the Pokemon Fire Red game, an old game. How it plays and shows how it wins by playing only with screenshots. So we have a very smart model in front of us. On this page, you can see many of its features and what it can do. But there are certain things in particular. These safeguards are the indicator of why Mythos and Fable, which are most wondered about, were created as Fable. Because yes, we have features at the Mythos level, but there are these safeguards, especially, security risks, banking, and so on, those kinds of hacks. Because think of it like this, you have a very powerful model, but other infrastructures weren't built for this model's intelligence. They were built for human hacking. You can work so effectively with this, with Mythos. You can hack anywhere, you can change everything. But to prevent these certain Anthropic emphasizes throughout this article that they've added security features and that security is the biggest difference. That's what it's doing, actually. And this is very important because on one hand, there's Mythos. It's very smart. It's provided to close all these vulnerabilities. And on the other hand, there's Fable. It can't exploit these vulnerabilities. Companies hope that when an open model arrives, Mythos will have already closed those gaps. Now we've come to the most important part. Fable 5 is open as of today. So I went to the terminal. I typed Claude. Right now it's Opus. But as you can see here, meet Fable 5. It says our new model. It says you can try it with /model. I said model. And here's Fable 5, as you can see. We're on Fable 5 now. You can see it here. Now, let me tell you how it works, by the way. Let's go back to security. Now, I want to tell you exactly how it works. Well, cybersecurity, topics that could be dangerous. Cybersecurity, biology, chemistry. Because anything can be done with these, it blocks Fable 5 from answering questions like these. Fable 5 blocks itself and downgrades itself to Opus 4.8. That's what it's doing, actually. I hope it's working correctly. Because we're talking about such a dangerous model, one that tries to export itself, a model that can hack everyone. Right now, this is what we have. Is this something that will happen to you often? No. In Anthropic's tests, it stayed on Fable 5 95% of the time. It actually dropped to Opus 5% of the time. You can think of it that way. We're dropping to Opus 4.8 at that level right now. Let me say one more thing for companies here, by the way. For security, both Mythos 5 and Fable 5 have a 30-day data retention period. Anthropic keeps your data for 30 days to prevent security risks or to be able to examine it if you create a security risk, actually. I mean, if you attempt something wrong. Normally, it didn't store data at the enterprise level. So there's a risk like that. Keep that in mind. Especially in companies, this issue is sensitive in certain situations. I wanted to say. Now we've come to the prices. Let me show you. Where are we? We're here. Availability. Prices are now open everywhere. Safeguards are open, as I said. Only the research parts. Input token is $50 per million. $10 per million. $50 per million for output tokens. So this is actually twice as much as Opus. It can be used directly from the Claude API. Now, if you use Opus, these effort levels determine how much effort your model will actually expend. And if you're currently using 4.8 in the X-High model, which is quite a heavy model, its performance might be close to Fable 5's low model, but using Fable 5's low model is cheaper than using Opus 4.8's X-High model. So keep that in mind. Now, there are a few things. They have a very high expectation. They expect a very high level of demand. So until June 22nd, Fable 5 will be included in Pro, Max, and Team plans, meaning you can use it with your regular subscription. On the 23rd, they'll remove Fable 5 from these and only via API. And after that, after the 23rd, you'll only be able to use it via API. Then they say they plan to open it up again if there's enough capacity meaning they'll bring back the regular plans. They've set up a system like this. Let me put it this way. Offering these models in plans is actually at a loss. They're losing money right now. These AI models consume so much compute power and resources. They're actually losing money on this, but they're investing their resources here to gain users, grow, and stay competitive. So they're providing it to us at a loss. So they probably did this to prevent further losses. Now we'll move on to testing the model. Before testing, let me mention Digital Academy. If you want to learn AI, Claude Code, and how to succeed with these models, we have a community for that of ours, covering everything from mindset to opportunities and agentic systems where we build AI agents and digital workers from Claude to a very detailed Claude Code training from scratch. It has many features like vibe coding, starting an agency, SaaS sales, mobile apps, and even YouTube systems. We actually have separate programs for marketing and passive income, and it's a great community. Everyone contributes a lot and develops their ideas, sharing here, progressing together, and forming business partnerships. That's why it's so valuable. The era is changing now. These new models are very powerful. We now have many workers we can use to get work done or build businesses, and they work very cheaply. The key here is to enter the market with the right business idea and find customers. In this community, whatever your business idea is, you learn it and go earn your money. It doesn't matter if you're a student in university or high school or at any point in your career, because without using these models, there's no future anymore. That's why those who specialize in this earn more, and those who don't specialize, unfortunately, lose their jobs. We've reached such a point. This applies to every sector. If you want to act before everyone else and get ahead, you can join us. Now I'm going back to Claude Code. We've opened Fable 5. Let's try it out. For a recent example, let's say I'm starting an AI agency, AI systems, and digital employees. By the way, our latest client actually took one of these scenarios, a real estate agency. It has 4 branches and 30 agents. We set up a 12-month engagement system, a 42,000 euro setup, and 4,500 euros monthly. There are digital employees related to this. There are many systems inside. Now, I'm explaining what my product is. You already know. I want to turn this product into a repeatable, productized offer so I can sell it to more agencies. Give me all of this. Give me the strategic breakdown. Let there be 3 things. And what's the biggest risk involved? Tell me what I need to do, I say. We'll try this in Fable 5. By the way, let me just clear Fable 5 for a second to show it here. It takes a while to delete. Sorry about that, but we also have something called effort. So as I said, you can also choose which effort level to work with here. We can adjust the effort here. Let's see. High, extra high, ultra. Something else happens here this time anyway. Now we're on high. I wanted to show where we use it. I'm writing the same thing. Let's see how it goes. We're running Fable 5 for the first time. The thought process, all the outputs, everything is different, by the way. Now, even the thought process is very different. It says it brought everything to industry standards. So you can see how different an output you're getting. You probably wouldn't get this output in Opus. Okay. It says let integration be easy. The biggest risk, okay, we can do something like this. Data migration, portal credentials, and so on. For example, it says the second client should be 70% easier than the first to turn this into a productized offer. Okay? It says sell the most installations within 60 days. It says package it. It wrote my plan here for me. It's still going, as you can see. So this isn't a normal output. I found it quite successful. It saved it. It wrote it here directly as 1, 2, 3. It wrote the biggest risk. At the very beginning, it said, make your second sale and continue. And it laid out everything, how much, what to do, how to sell, 30 days, 15 days. With this planning, as I said, you have any employee you want. Now we're going to have it do one more thing, one more prompt. Let's go with plan mode. Let it be more powerful. I'm saying this multi-step build process is one of its strongest features. We'll talk about how it builds this. I need a client dashboard for my agency where I can track all my clients, their names, monthly, revenues, and project statuses. which agents were assigned, delivered, and then track what will be delivered next. A very nice responsive dashboard I'm having it make. I'm actually making an internal system for myself. I'm telling it to plan this first. Let's see what comes out. Now it asked what it should be. It said, I'm saying standalone HTML. Let's not put it inside another app. Let it also display on editable local storage. We're putting it in right away. By the way, my plan is, at this point, because it just got renewed, and I'm using this plan too. Let's see how it goes. Now it created the dashboard. Let's see how it is. Quite vibrant. We've got a pretty good dashboard. Everything is working. It did it just like that. And it did it very fast, by the way, just as I wanted. Even design, functionality, those are one thing, but the infrastructure, everything underneath is all set. No problems at all. It's here, as you can see. It created a working system immediately. This is the usage. As I can see, it's not very costly either. We've seen it. Claude 3.5. I think it'll change a lot. Models getting smarter and smarter. Access to this kind of AI makes our job easier too. But what matters is how you apply them. You don't need this model every moment, but at certain times it'll make your job much easier. Never have the heaviest model do every single task. I always say that. But these models solve some bottlenecks very well. So a much more advanced engineer has been added to your team in your building process. Think of it like that. But running it is a bit expensive. So you'll use it accordingly. We'll look at more applications too. We'll also look at what you can do. But what's always important is not so much these benchmarks or the data given, but how much it helps you. Thanks a lot for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. See you in the next video.